Welcome, everyone, to accelerating your integration journey with pre-built solutions to optimize your NetSuite investment. I'm David Rastatter here with Jitterbit, and later on, Cheyenne's going to be joining us to show you a demo of our Harmony iPaaS platform. I'd like to set the stage here a little bit. Integration is a key step towards achieving automation across the enterprise. I'll say that again. Integration is a key step towards achieving automation across the enterprise. As you see in this diagram here, you have all these different applications used by specific departments and teams to get things done. So with integration technology, the data from those applications is passed back and forth through NetSuite or connected with each other. This is really important because it eliminates the need for manual processes such as copy and pasting data from one application to another. For example, if an order comes in through Shopify, you don't have to copy and paste that customer data, that order data, that inventory data from Shopify to NetSuite because it's automated from Shopify to NetSuite and the other way around, vice versa. This is also key because integration technology with an iPaaS platform centralizes all of the application data so it can be easily accessed in one location. And that eliminates the bottlenecks between departments and across departments. I'm going to go over a couple use cases here. This is the opportunity to order Salesforce to NetSuite use case. Now we have 6 pre-built integrations between Salesforce and NetSuite. And what these integrations do is they automate sales, order creation, and other valuable data from Salesforce to NetSuite and vice versa seamlessly. Some of the benefits of this are, if an order is created in Salesforce, then it'll automatically be created in NetSuite. Now, whenever data is manipulated in one application, let's say you change a data field in NetSuite, that'll automatically be updated in Salesforce, whether it's contact data or product data or inventory data. And what this does is eliminates the need for copy and pasting manually or toggling between systems. It makes everything centralized. You're working inside the application you want to work in because the automation and integration is connecting the data between other applications and the application you're using. In this commerce scenario, order to fulfillment, we have 4 pre-built integrations that automate sales, customer, order, and fulfillment information between your web store, let's say Shopify, and NetSuite. So if an order comes in through Shopify, through your web store, it'll be created in NetSuite. If a customer creates a user profile, their first-time customer, in Shopify, that'll automatically be created in NetSuite. So again, as we're seeing, just like the previous scenario, we're eliminating manual processes and automating data back and forth between systems so that teams, departments across the business can look at an application and have confidence that that data is correct because it was automated from the source and vice versa. In this final use case, EDI to ERP, let's say you have a trading partner and the trading partner sends you an 850. That data is then transferred to NetSuite. Our Harmony EDI solution is fully integrated into our iPaaS solution, Harmony, and it allows you to self-manage, configure, and set up trading partners through an easy graphical interface, which then removes the complexities of setting up EDI trading partners, managing documents, and viewing transactions. With our pre-built integrations, you have access to hundreds of trading partners that are already set up and thousands of maps in place. Like the other use cases, we're leveraging automation to pass data from the trading partner to NetSuite, from a 3PL to NetSuite, whatever the scenario may be, everything is automated. I know I've mentioned Harmony quite a bit. This is our Harmony iPaaS platform, and these are all of the applications inside of Harmony. We just talked about EDI, that's right there. I'll get to that in a minute, but let's start out here from the left side. Cloud Studio is where you can create workflows and actually create and design your integrations in a really easy to use drag and drop interface. API Manager is where you can create and control the APIs that you do use in your integrations. Vinyl App Builder is a solution that allows you to build customized apps in a low-code interface. For example, if you have a trading partner in an EDI scenario and they send you a purchase order, but you want to manipulate that data before it goes into NetSuite, we've created applications, we've created reports and dashboards and forms where you can manipulate that data, our Vinyl App Builder solution, and then pass it back into your ERP. EDI, we just went over. It's where you can connect, manage, set up, and maintain trading partners, view EDI documents, and manage EDI workflows. Our management console is where you can manage and administer integration projects. You can control user rights, you can manage security, and it gives you that 360-degree view of integration projects. And Marketplace finally is where you get the pre-built integrations that I discussed earlier. Let's say you're Shopify to NetSuite or NetSuite to Salesforce in one central hub. And with that, I'm going to pass it on over to Cheyenne, who's going to show you a demo of our Harmony iPaaS platform. Cheyenne, the floor is yours. Thanks.
Thanks, David. Hey everyone, Cheyenne here. Let's get into the demo. So here I am in the Harmony landing page, booting up Cloud Studio, where we'll take a look at our first example flow. This one is between NetSuite and my CRM, Salesforce, and it's going to be a batch customer sync. So here's an example of a customer based on myself that we'll be syncing over. As you can see, I currently do not have any existing customers in my CRM here. But that can all change once I come back into Cloud Studio and I'll run this workflow that I've created. So this is a pretty simple example of a Cloud Studio workflow just to start off with, where we have one source, one target, just a one-to-one relationship between our objects. So now I see both my steps were successful, my search in NetSuite and my upsert into Salesforce. So if I refresh my accounts page now, we see a whole bunch of customers that populated here. And let's go ahead and search for that customer we were looking at earlier. Click into it and we see, very basic details just for the sake of this demo, but we have the basics and we also have the ID, which you can see matches in NetSuite as well. So how do you go about building a workflow like this in Cloud Studio? Well, you start off on the right-hand side of the screen where you have our connector library, including our NetSuite connector. So double click on the NetSuite connector and it brings you to the configuration page, and this is where you plug in your API credentials. So we don't require you to install anything on your NetSuite backend or anything like that. We just go through the API. So plug in your optional settings as well as your credentials, click test, and then you are good to go with the NetSuite connector. That's when you get access to your activities, your CRUD operations. So I'll expand the NetSuite connector here and it gives me my list of options. So if I want to use NetSuite as my source, I would use the search activity like I've already done here. So let's take a look at my search that I've already configured here. So clicking into the wizard, the first step is to select our object from the list here. This list is actually, it's dynamic. It's based on your NetSuite instance. So any standard objects as well as any custom objects you may have added will all be accessible from here. Then you can refine how you want to actually filter your search, whether you use a search that you create in the wizard or a saved search you've already created in your NetSuite instance. In my case, I did a basic search, which essentially allows me to select any field of the object I selected and apply conditions to it. So you see here I have a few that I've already applied. If I wanted to create one now though, let's say on the date created field, I select the field, click add condition, and it gives me all my list of options. So let's say I wanted to grab customers that were created after last month. I could do that and then add the condition. I could also insert my own values or use variables to make the search dynamic. But in this case, that's my condition. And then the last step of any of these wizards, as you'll see here, is just a preview of what I've selected previously. So here is my schema in NetSuite for my customer object. So all of our connectors work this way, where there is a wizard behind the scenes where you essentially are configuring your API operation. And once you've gone through the wizard for the source and the target, you can chain your steps together like I've done here, and then you enter the transformation. This is where you actually do your field mapping. So on the left, I have my source, which is my NetSuite customer, and on the right, my target is my Salesforce account. So drag fields from left to right, like I've just mapped city there to shipping city. So you can see I've already mapped a few fields, but it doesn't always have to be a one-to-one relationship. Like you can see here on my description, I'm actually combining multiple fields together from my source into my target. You can do more than just combining fields, though. You have a lot of options here. Like you could use our function library. Let me show you an example of that. On my billing city, I use the toProper function here, which if I look it up in my function library and click on that, it gives me a quick description of how that function works. So this will essentially capitalize only the first letter of each word in my city. And then beyond any business logic changes, you can also do some custom logging like I've done here. So you can see if I click on the success icon, it'll bring me to the logs of the operation I just ran, telling me the basic metadata, but I also had it log every ID as it came through. Moving on to our next use case, now that we have our customers, let's get our inventory items synced up. So here's my example product with, again, just some basic data like a name, a code, and a price. And then back here in my CRM, clicking over to the products tab just to show you I currently don't have anything in here right now. But again, I can open up Cloud Studio and click on my product sync workflow. Now this is a more complex workflow, but again, I can have it run just by clicking the run button, or very easily applying a schedule. This could be the hourly product sync, or every 5 minutes, whatever you want it to be. Now if I refresh the page again, we see, yep, I have all my products in here, and here's the example JB100 we saw earlier. Not only do we have the product in here, but we also have the related price book entry. So, not every workflow you design in Cloud Studio has to be a one-to-one relationship. So you see here, my one data search for inventory items out of NetSuite turned into 2 different objects in my CRM. And now that we have customers and products/items in common between the 2 systems, we can start making the registering. So I'll just go ahead and enter an opportunity here in my CRM. This will represent a sales order in NetSuite once everything is done here. So just going to fill out some required fields here. And now we have the opportunity with the customer that we synced from NetSuite. And again, the products, which originated from NetSuite. So I'll select a couple of these from here, give them their quantities. Let's just say 1 of each of these. Save that. Now everything I've done is purely just in the CRM up until this point, where I can actually have the triggered event happen. In this case, the triggered event is the opportunity being set to closed won. So when I click save here, this will fire off a webhook call into Cloud Studio, which will essentially take this data payload from this opportunity and sync it over into NetSuite. And that's another workflow here in Cloud Studio. And you can see this one has an API request as the first step. So I didn't run anything there. I just showed you what it looks like. And now all I did is refresh my page in the CRM. And we see we actually got some writebacks from NetSuite, including the sales order ID. So if I take that, copy and paste it into the NetSuite search bar, see there, pulls up the sales order, the preview, we can see that same customer. And then in here, we have the same customer, of course, the same total, calculated total, and then each of my 3 items that were ordered. Now, so far we've been talking about a ERP to CRM integration, but like David was saying earlier, you can actually have lots of different systems integrated with NetSuite and each other. So in this case, let's add Shopify to the equation. So rather than keying in an opportunity in Salesforce, I will act as a new customer on my e-com store here. And I'm purchasing, some professional services for this little demo here. So entering in my customer information and, choosing the product. Now behind the scenes, what's happening here is as soon as I place the order, Shopify sends a webhook call into Jitterbit with, the customer information, what they purchased, etc. So first of all, that new customer has been added. So let's find that in the CRM. We see that there. I just named myself SuiteWorld customer. That exists in the CRM here. It also exists in NetSuite. So this was a Shopify to Salesforce and NetSuite flow there. And I can confirm that by taking that name again and copy and pasting into NetSuite. So by entering in my customer information into the Shopify store, I now exist in the CRM and NetSuite. Great. What about the order I placed? So that also exists in the CRM. Now, in this case, you see the related opportunity here. It doesn't exist in NetSuite yet because the logic was that I set up is it only creates a draft opportunity in Salesforce with the same customer and the same product that I selected. Now, keep in mind the actual business logic involved here is all customizable. So in my case, when I placed the order in Shopify, it automatically synced over into my CRM. As you can see here, I have my Shopify ID present in the opportunity, but it didn't sync into NetSuite until I set it to closed won. And now you can see I got my writebacks from NetSuite here in my custom fields. You could set it up differently. Maybe you want it to automatically sync to NetSuite right away before any other manual approval processes need to be done. But that's something that's up to you when you're building your workflows. But just to confirm, it does exist here in NetSuite. So we see the same customer, same total, same item that I selected in my Shopify storefront. And now I can move on with the fulfillment, the shipping, all that. And I could have those also be synced back into Shopify and the CRM as needed. All right, now that we've seen a few examples of the Harmony platform in action, let's talk about how you can get started. Well, a great place to start is back on the landing page, click into our marketplace, where you can find pre-built integration assets created by our team. So for example, you could use these filters on the side here to select NetSuite as one of your endpoints, and then choose what type of category you're looking for. So maybe you're looking for a e-com use case with Shopify. You could check out our NetSuite to Shopify order to fulfillment process template. All of our marketplace assets are included at no additional cost and are meant to be customizable. So once you find the project that looks right for you, click Start Project. It'll tell you all about what comes with that project, and then you can download it into your Cloud Studio environment of choice, where you can then load it up in Cloud Studio, add your credentials for the given systems, and map any additional custom fields and add any additional business logic that you see fit. If you want to learn more about Jitterbit, of course, a great place to go is jitterbit.com, where you can learn about our various products and offerings, including EDI integration. Another great resource I'd like to direct you to is our documentation site at success.jitterbit.com. This is where you can find any technical information about our platform that you're interested in, whether it's learning about our security, certifications, our architecture, or maybe you want to learn about our NetSuite connector. You can find information about that, like any prerequisites that may be required to start building in Cloud Studio. You can also go to jitterbit.com/marketplace to find a list of all of those pre-built integration assets I was showing you earlier. All right, that about does it for today's demo of the Jitterbit Harmony platform. Thank you so much for watching, and please enjoy the rest of SuiteWorld.